now everyone think I'm speaking English on your channel. Is that
Yes,
right?
you are.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here on your stream.
I am happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're wearing headphones because you got to hear, right? You got to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you said that you were using AI, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, and I'm using ChatGPT to talking practice.
Yeah.
And it's very realistic. Like I'm literally talking to some people because they have very good knowledge about specialty that I asked about specific difficult question.
Yeah.
Like some people don't have their very scientific
Mm-hmm.
topic.
Yeah.
But the AI can answer that question. So while I can not only practice in speaking, it's also gaining a lot of information from AI. So it's very good practice, not only English field. So it's very good.
Yeah, I would agree that not only English, but if from the computer science standpoint, what AI can do is it can collect a lot of data from a lot of users, and then it can take that data and basically, how do we say it, streamline it into more understanding for itself. So it is interesting. I'm not going to argue that at all. AI has to be one of the most amazing things that's going to happen for everybody in the entire globe in the next, what do you think, 2 years? When do you think, what do they call it? What do you guys call it in Japanese? Because we call it, what do we call it? We call it AGI.
Singularity?
What's that?
Yeah.
So
singularity or artificial general intelligence.
Yes. So when do you think it's coming?
Yeah, it's 1 year.
You think 1 year?
And this year. Yeah.
You think this year, 2024?
Yeah, I believe that. It's very fascinating about developing recent AI technology, especially the Sora came out recently.
Yeah.
I was shocked about the quality of the video AI created on Sora. So it's very fascinating, and I believe that the Asia level,
I agree with you, and it's good that we're having this conversation because a lot of times when I look up things about AI, I search in English, right? But when you search, are you searching in Japanese or are you searching in English? When you look at articles, when you're watching videos and you're learning about AI, are you learning from people that speak Japanese or are you learning from people that speak English?
From people who speak in English.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep.
Because I think that, just in my opinion, that the world conversation about AI is happening in English, right? People from around the world are coming together to talk about this because it will change our lives, your life, my life, everybody's life, right? So the sooner that we understand it and harness it and use it for our own benefit, for everybody's benefit, the sooner people are going to be happy and satisfied, and so many cool things are coming. But what do you think is going to be one of the most exciting developments for AI in our personal lives? What do you think?
It's very difficult to answer that question, but there are a lot of good things from AI, but my biggest concern is it's very difficult to understand the difference between the truth and the wrong information on the internet. And I also believe that the dead internet theory is coming within 1 year.
You think so?
The AI generating a lot of fake videos and uploading on this platform, YouTube or X. So
well,
it's very
I would say though there's one way to combat it, And the way that we can fight that level of misinformation is to not click on any videos that don't have a human face. I've seen a few channels recently, new channels, and I can tell they're AI generated. You can just tell by the thumbnail, and you can tell by the voice. And that's the most, oh my God, maybe I should make a video about this, because every time I hear the AI voice, I go crazy. I can't handle it because I know it's AI. Even though they're trying to sound very natural, and it does sound natural, I'm not going to lie, but I know it's AI. And that causes me to mistrust it. Because who wrote the script? You know? Because you can probably program an AI to comb YouTube and go, hey, look for the top 10 viral video ideas and make a script that engages the viewer at an optimal percent. And the AI can go through, look at the top 10 videos on YouTube and create its own video based on the visual information and the audio information from the video, and just start creating viral video after viral video, right? And nobody would know the difference. Nobody would know that AI is now self-conscious and creating its own videos, all to gain a bigger channel, so that it starts to make money. And with that money, it starts to create, I mean, we can both imagine the craziness that's about to happen. But how do we fight it? And I think face-to-face conversation is probably the only way.
Yes,
And face-to-face conversation without the computer. I think that's also going to be a very fundamental ethic in the future, is that there's going to be so much communication on the machines that we're not going to trust the machines 100%. And so any of the high level conversations, like in business or in government, are still going to have to be held face to face, because who knows what kind of misinformation can be generated by a fake video of a president, a fake video of you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of crazy things out there that could be possible just by an AI bot scraping this live feed, for example. So I think that these face-to-face conversations are probably going to be one of the most important things that we can do as we move forward. So yeah, thank you so much for joining this. Just really quick, what do you do?
I quit my work yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, but
Cheers.
yeah, and there's a reason that I quit my job, because I'm going to go study abroad this month.
Really?
2 weeks from now. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm planning to go to Australia
No way.
as a working holiday. So yeah,
No way. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
So are you prepared? Do you know what to do? Do you have any questions before you go to Australia? Are you mentally ready? Is your heart ready? You know, because it's going to be tough. You know, there's
Yes.
definitely a lot of tough obstacles to overcome. But do you have any questions at all? And maybe I can help you a little bit. Maybe, because I myself was an exchange student in Japan. So me and you are the same, just backwards. You know what I mean? I was an exchange student in Japan. You're going to go to another country. So it's basically the same thing, that we're going to learn how to become bilingual, and we're going to start using our second language, right? But do you have any questions at all, or do you have any fears about going to Australia in the future? 2 weeks.
Yeah. My biggest concern is looking for my place to live, like finding apartment, or how can I find apartment or
you know,
where that I can live. So it's the problem. that I have?
There's this thing, and I'm going to put it in the chat just for the note for you there, but we call it Craigslist. I am pretty sure it exists in Australia. What city are you going to go to?
Sydney.
Sydney. Okay. So the city of Sydney probably has Craigslist. So if you Google search Craigslist Sydney, you're going to come to a website that basically has, it's kind of like an old school website from the from the 2000s. So it's like 20 years old basically. The style is really old. But sometimes people still post there, and they have this little tab called housing. Click housing, then you click housing, apartments for rent, or room share. And you'll definitely find some listings. And from there, it's up to you to contact them and see how you get an apartment. You know what I mean? You're going to have to start negotiating. You're going to have to start talking. You're going to have to start, getting out there and really, excuse me, I'm looking for a room to rent. How much does it cost per month? What are the utilities, right? Is there any secret fees that I need to know about? Like, you're going to have to really start asking questions. So this is pretty exciting. I would definitely say Craigslist. The only other thing besides Craigslist is if you get stuck, do Airbnb. Because Airbnb, you can rent for like a week or 2 weeks. It might be a little more expensive in the beginning, but you have basically all the utilities included. You have a bed, a table, all the lights, everything's taken care of, right? When you do Airbnb, and you get to a neighborhood, like let's just say you pick a neighborhood, you don't know if it's going to be good or bad, right? You get there with the Airbnb, do like a 2-week kind of like stay, and then you can tell if you like the neighborhood or not. Because what if you don't like the neighborhood? How do you get out, right? Because if you make a contract for a place for like 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, right? And then you're stuck in a bad neighborhood. That's gonna suck. So only you know what's going to be a bad neighborhood though, like what fits your style. Because like for me, when I live too far away from the city center, when I live too far away from downtown, I feel like I'm in a bad neighborhood. Because if you have to commute over 1 hour to get to the good parts. So one of the things that I do, because I've been living around the world for like the past year, right? One of the first things I do about every new city is I Google top 10 coolest neighborhoods, Mexico City, top 10 coolest neighborhoods, Seoul, top 10 coolest neighborhoods, Sydney. And then I look at the answers, and then I read 10 blog posts, and then I see, okay, everybody keeps talking about these same 3 neighborhoods. I'm going to go onto Airbnb now and see what the prices are for these neighborhoods. And then you can see if you can afford it or not. Because sometimes neighborhoods are pretty expensive, if you know what I mean, right? So basically, you got to know where you want to go, which neighborhood, and then see if you can afford it. And if you can, then you got to then negotiate and try to get a long-term contract there. So honestly, Airbnb is the best temporary solution, because you make a 2-week reservation in the beginning. And if you don't like the neighborhood, then you switch. You just get another 2 weeks somewhere else. So in the beginning 2 weeks, you don't unpack your bags, not till you're sure that you like the neighborhood. Then once you're like, okay, I like it, it's not too far from whatever school or job that you have, right? Then you're like, okay, I like this neighborhood. I want to stay longer. Okay, let's see about getting an apartment. Then you go to Craigslist. Then you maybe talk to people in the neighborhood. Then you maybe go to a cafe and start talking to other people at the workstation. Maybe you try to find other Japanese exchange students, right? You have to start connecting with humans in reality, though, because that's the game. That's the fun. Because once you start making alliances with people that are, as smart as you are, right? And then you can start to do things. So you got to really find your tribe. what would you think your tribe is? You seem like a gamer, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I used to be a gamer, but I recently didn't play video games. Yeah, but I got a VR headset.
Oh yeah,
Last year, and I
nice,
played VR game a little bit, and I'm
nice,
playing ping pong on VR
nice, nice,
using my
nice.
physical.
Yeah, so you're definitely tech, right? And I would say if you're tech, you got to find the other tech guys in Sydney.
Mm.
So one of the things that you could look up on the Google is basically like tech hotspots in Sydney, or what upcoming tech startups in Sydney, because you seem like a smart guy. Do you know how to program?
No, no, not really. In university, I took a class about programming for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I'm not a specialist of programming, so I'm not good at it.
What's your specialty?
Yeah, education, and
Oh,
I'm studying English on university, and my specialty is English education. So
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha, gotcha,
But
gotcha.
I got a question for you
Sure.
about making YouTube video or doing YouTube in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
Because if I go to Australia, I
Uh-huh.
want to make YouTube video and creating my YouTube channel. I I only have two or three video about uh, game
Yeah.
games gaming arcade center in Japan and playing game, and there are only two or three short movie on my channel. So
Okay.
I haven't got on my face on YouTube, and this is
Mm.
my first time
Oh,
showing my face on
well, yeah,
YouTube. So
yeah.
it's a very good
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So this is your channel is very big, and I have watched your video more than three or four, because I
Thank you.
followed you
Thank
yeah
you. Yeah.
for so long time. So
Oh,
yeah
thank you.
and so today, the day that I create on my channel, and I'm trying to stream also on my channel. So so please give me some tips to start new channel.
No problem. So this one's easy because I've thought about this for a long time. You have three simple steps. Okay. In every single day, you focus on these three things in order. Okay. Number one, who is your target audience? Be very specific. So, what country are they in? What language do they speak? And what's their hobby? Right? What's the theme? So you said gaming, right? But then you said maybe Japanese arcades. So here's the problem. Who's watching the video? Japanese people or English speaking people interested in Japan? Which is it? Because I would recommend, and this is just a recommendation, but this seems to be the wise advice if you look at other YouTubers and other advice. They would say be as specific as you can in the beginning. It's better to be specific with your target audience, because if you do things that are too random, and especially if you do it in both English and Japanese, you're just not going to be able to compete with all of the other YouTubers out there. So the idea is not to compete in the big ocean, but the idea is to compete in a small little pond. And if you can, compete in a small little pool. So when you become the only YouTuber that posts about, let's say, Japanese arcade video games in like how do you say those, like下町みたいなところわかんないけど、昭和時代みたいな、アーケードみたいなわかんないけど、because it's your channel, right? But if you focus on going to these arcades, from the 80s or something like that, and you show these retro video games, Japanese retro video game arcade in Nakano, right? okay, did you say it in English or did you say it in Japanese? Because you have to know who your target audience is, right? And if it's an American, they don't read kanji, so you have to put the title in English, right? So that's definitely number one. Before you even make a video, you have to know who you're talking to. And then by default, you have to understand which language are you going to use. So the thing is, you're going to be moving to Australia. So I think the video game content is going to have to shift because you're going to have to be able to make content from Australia, right? So once you understand who your target audience is, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's okay. You could be in Japan. You could be in Australia. You could be in Korea. Once you know who your target audience is, the next thing is to give them an exciting headline and an exciting thumbnail. That's it. If this idea is exciting, they're going to click. And if it's not exciting, they're not going to click. It's as simple as that. So what could you say to the specific group of people that is like playing video games that is really exciting, right? And you got to think about that, because if it's not interesting to anybody, well, you know, what's the point? I mean, maybe you're having fun by yourself, but you do want to reach out. You do want to connect with people. So your headline becomes super important. But that's the second thing you got to worry about. Don't forget, the first thing is who are you talking to? You can never forget that. And I have a very bitter lesson about that. That maybe, okay, I'll explain this. So step 3 then becomes audience view duration. Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay, so you know headline thumbnail, right?
Mhm.
Headline thumbnail. So the headline of the video and the the thumbnail. That's pretty simple, right? But the audience view duration is the average amount of time that the viewer watches the video. So YouTube, as an algorithm, prefers larger numbers. 1 minute? No way. 3 minutes? No way. 5 minutes? Now we're talking. 9 minutes? Okay, you might have a good video. That is the cut and dry reality of math. The bigger the number in your average view duration, the better your video is going to perform, without a doubt. This is the secret, that if you understand this secret, now you go back to your target audience and then you say, okay, how can I keep my target audience's retention for longer than 5 minutes? So you better have a really good idea in a headline, in a thumbnail, to keep their attention for longer than 5 minutes. As you practice YouTube, you're going to find out that people only give you 1 minute. People only give you 2 minutes. And that's just not enough to compete in YouTube. So really what's happening is, the longer one person pays attention, the assumption is the algorithm will say, well, you know, if this one person pays attention for 10 minutes, maybe 20 people will pay attention for 10 minutes, right? So the algorithm starts to recommend that video to more and more people, because, well, if 10 people are watching for 10 minutes, maybe 1,000 people would watch for 10 minutes. And so the algorithm is going to seek these audiences out on your behalf. You don't even have to do anything by then. As long as you get these 3 steps lined up, the algorithm will work on your behalf. But you have to do the 3 steps in order to see maximum success. So to review, you got to know who you're talking to, your target audience. Then you have to come up with a good headline and a good thumbnail, so you get a good click-through ratio. The amount of people that click for every 100 shown, then 8%, 10% click, right? And then the final number in the math is the AVD, audience view duration. The longer that number is, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're going to make good videos. And if you can get that audience retention up to like 70%, you are a YouTube master. Unfortunately for me, I'm not a master. I appreciated your comments, and you watched my videos for a few years, and I'm glad. But the truth is, there's way more famous YouTubers than I. And I keep trying to like, man, what am I missing? You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm pretty good at teaching. I think I'm pretty interesting, right? Why are there more, right? I kind of think about this a lot. And I know what it is. It's the average view duration is probably lower than other YouTubers. And I know why, because the other videos have more fluent Japanese and they have subtitles. And I just find it really hard for me to put subtitles because I don't believe in subtitles. But anyway, I digress. So now that you got the 3 steps, what do you think? Who do you think your target audience is?
Yeah, maybe my target audience is Japanese, and my channel style is like blogging on other countries. So maybe I'm talking in English and typing Japanese subtitles on that video. But my focus is for Japanese viewers, but I'm trying to speak in English in my video because it's also my record on my English practice and improving in other countries. So that's about my blog style video. And the one thing, the another thing is giving a lot of information about living abroad or the experience that I get, and sharing with people my experience. So that's the main focus. So my main target audience is Japanese people.
Gotcha. So then moving forward, then you kind of have to brainstorm together in a sense, because do you know Mr. Beast?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so one of my hobbies, I would say, is not watching Mr. Beast videos, but watching Mr. Beast give advice. And one of the things that he really, really makes painfully obvious is that he thinks a lot about the headline and the thumbnail. And he won't even film anything until he has his headline and his thumbnail established and set and permanent almost. So once he knows he has a good idea in the headline and he can make a thumbnail, then he begins video production of the video itself. So it is super important to think about your headlines and your thumbnail to entice Japanese people to click your video and not somebody else's. So I think that the only way to do that is by, well, one, you can see what's kind of popular, but then 2, you're going to have to just go and experiment. So the thing is that it just depends on how you design your channel. But a lot of times people have like 3 different ideas, but the algorithm is kind of stupid. So for example, let me give you an example. I made videos about famous Japanese people's English, right?
Yeah.
Actresses, musicians, singers, right? And one day I discovered that somebody in the royal family spoke English. So I made a video about that person in the royal family. And it did well. And so I saw the feedback. I was like, well, I wonder if there's anybody else in the royal family. So I made another video about the person in the royal family, and that video did well too. So then I made another video about somebody in the royal family because I'm chasing the, positive feedback, right? Well, this is what happened. My channel then shifted into a royal family channel because the algorithm told me, oh, your audience also watches Imperial Japan or stories of the imperial family. And I'm like, wait, no. Step 1, my audience is people learning English. not royal
Yeah.
family. So you got to be careful when you're mixing like two different ideas, because you really want to focus on the one idea as opposed to the many ideas in the beginning. Really work on the one idea and then just kind of like keep polishing it, you know? So you make one headline, all right, the next day make it better, you know what I mean? And then the next day make it longer. You basically just work on getting one idea down, and then video after video, you're going to see, oh, people, they respond to this. Oh, people responded to this aspect. Oh, you know, you step by step, you'll begin to see what people actually click. Because at the end of the day, all of this math, all of this conversation is basically clicks. Click the watch button and click the stop button. Those are the two clicks that matter more than anything. So, you seem to have an analytical mind. I think that you have the math understanding behind you. You have a very probably you have that tech vibe that I think you, and you're interested in AI, and I would assume therefore you probably can understand algorithms as well. Good luck, because
Thank you.
at the end of the day, people are going to click because people think it's interesting, not because the algorithm is just pushing stuff. You know what I mean? The people, I believe, will keep the AI in control, hopefully. I believe people will do the right thing, and I believe people will resonate with truth. So as you move forward, I wish you luck, but it's not luck. It's going to be strength, you know, that's going to get you through it, because every experiment that you do is a lesson, and every headline that you write becomes a lesson, and then every video that you release becomes a lesson on how to make it better. You know what I mean? So if you keep doing it every day, day after day, eventually the algorithm will recognize your hard work and start to recommend you to other people. And then from there, what do you do? Well, I don't know. What can you imagine, right? So yeah, I'm very proud of you. Good job. What's your? Am I allowed to ask your real name, or do you want to just go by your internet name?
Yeah, for now, I'm using my JUMP Universe, my YouTube channel name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
one thing that I'm asking you is it okay to upload this video like on my first video speaking
of
English
course.
in my
Yeah.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
It's really なんかすごいありがとうございます。
Yeah.
でも
Now,
最初のね、my first video is talking to famous YouTuber is going on viral, right? Maybe algorithm likes your video, and viewers interested in English. So my algorithm is gonna be something big will happen in the future. I don't know, but I'm really glad.
That I appreciate your imagination. 想像力がすごいね。だってそんなに有名じゃないと思うんだけどね。But
有名人です。
いやまあ。I know that. Okay, even Mr. Beast, he told me, not told me, but through his videos, right? He was saying like when you get like 1 million subscribers, maybe one person a day recognizes you. But when you get 10 million subscribers, then all day people recognize you, right? I would say at my level, when I'm in Tokyo or Kyoto, about one person a day recognizes me. So yeah, I know I'm famous, but in terms of the algorithm though, and here's the bitter truth. For me, nobody is really searching my name. I mean, a few people, maybe Ky senpai, hyoban, or something like that, right? But it's not a lot, to be honest. Like the traffic numbers searching for me is not very high. And like I said, there's so many other YouTubers that have so many more subscribers than I do. So I very, I'd have to, as humbly as I can, just say thank you. But I have a lot of work to do myself. I'm trying my best to basically, teach the entire country and the entire world, right, how to like speak English, right? And so millions would be ideal, but I am far from that goal. So I'm going to keep trying as often as I can. And I hope the same for you. I mean, I would, who knows, right? I'm not gonna make any promises like how well your video is gonna do if you use my name in the headline, but try it.
Yeah.
And see what happens, because honestly, Mr. Beast, he did start by he would put other YouTubers in his headline, like PewDiePie. Do you know PewDiePie?
Yep, I love his video.
Good. So Mr. Beast, when he was young, he would just basically make videos about PewDiePie because he would hope people would click it, right? And eventually, when Mr. Beast got super famous, he had actually communicated with PewDiePie. But in the beginning, he was just putting famous people's names in the headlines to see what would happen. So I, by all means, use my face, use my name to see what happens. And, even Mr. Beast was saying, like, I love it when people take my videos, because that just means more virality for me. The more people that talk about Mr. Beast, the more Mr. Beast does well. So if you want to use my this video, by all means, you have permission, please do, and say whatever you want. You could say that I'm the worst teacher ever, and I don't think it will matter. I appreciate your time, and hopefully it does do well. So,
本当にありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
喋れて嬉しかったです。
Yeah, 全然don't worry about it. I appreciate the using Japanese, but I appreciate your time as well, and I'm glad that you have the courage to do this, because a lot of people, I'm like, hey, I can do this. I can talk to anybody. All you got to do is click this link, and so many people are just like,ちょっと恥ずかしいんじゃない? Like, well, what's so embarrassing about this? This is just like normal, right? This is just having a normal conversation between two normal people about things that they're interested in. So I really do appreciate your time, Mr. Jump. And feel free to contact me on Instagram if you haven't contacted me on Instagram before. I shared my Instagram thing there. So if you ever want to text me or anything like that, I can get back to you on Instagram. So
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much. And good luck in Australia. And I hope your channel does well.
Yeah. So yeah, after finishing this thing, I'm going to text you on Instagram. So
okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you for talking with me. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Take it easy, Jump. Mr. Jump. Alright, bye bye.
バイバイ。ありがとうございます。
いえいえいえ、とんでもないですよ。ありがとう。こちらこそ。